judge has ordered the Trump administration to return a man it deported to Honduras back to the U.S. In a ruling this week, the judge said 20-year-old Jose Eliezer Martinez-Andino was likely denied due process, including access to an attorney before he was deported. CNN's national correspondent Rafael Romo is back with us. Tell us more about this.
Yes, it's a case that has a lot of potential for a setting precedent here, as I was telling you earlier, because when it comes to deportations and involves the rights of immigrants and due process, as defined by the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, a federal judge in the District of Columbia has ruled the U.S. Justice Department must facilitate the return of a Honduran man who was deported to his native country in April because the Department of Homeland Security may have violated his due process rights by allegedly not allowing him access to an attorney and coercing him to sign papers for voluntary departure he did not understand. In her ruling issued in June, Judge Beryl Howell at the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia said that plaintiff Jose Eliezer Martinez-Andino, who is an immigrant from Honduras with no criminal history, but with a 3-year-old U.S. citizen daughter dependent on the authorization he held to work legally in the United States, was removed from this country in a manner that boggles the mind. According to court document, Martinez-Andino, who worked as a mechanic in North Carolina and is now 21 years old, was detained in Montana in March and placed in ICE custody, even though he had special immigrant juvenile status that allowed him to live and work in the United States. In the documents, Martinez-Andino also alleges that he was coerced to sign 2 forms agreeing to voluntary departure. He was also deprived of access to his retained counsel for 10 days and flown to Honduras by the U.S. government on April 10, 2026, barely 3 weeks after his civil arrest. In an interview in Tele Honduras, where he awaits his return to the U.S., Martinez-Andino told CNN in Español he was denied his rights multiple times.
Me dijeron que si no firmaba la deportación, podría estar preso de 6 a 8 meses.
¿Le dieron alguna justificación o algo para decirle?
No, nada, o sea, no tienes derecho a ver un juez ni un abogado, vas para afuera.
In a statement, the Department of Homeland Security told CNN that Jose Martinez-Andino originally entered the country illegally through Mexico in 2020, but acknowledged that his removal proceedings were later dismissed by an immigration judge without prejudice in 2023. The statement also says that Martinez-Andino was issued a voluntary departure and departed the country on April 10. He received full due process, it says. Any claims that he was not allowed access to an attorney are false. But it seems like Judge Howell thinks Martinez deserves the chance to litigate his claims in a federal court and directed the Department of Justice and Homeland Security to continue in a prompt and expeditious manner efforts to facilitate his return to this country. Now, the question here is, how soon is he coming back?
Right.
At this point, we have no idea.
On that?
Yes.
Interesting. All right. Rafael Romo, thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. We'll be right back.